Hello again, and a warm welcome to our new viewers, and a big thank you to regular watchers of the channel. I really do appreciate your support, so thank you very much. I've been going through a rock and roll phase of late, revisiting some 50s records, which is pretty much where my collecting journey began and where my favourite musical styles of beat, soul and rock in fact originate. It's Sunday morning here in the UK and I'm spinning some classic rock and roll and doo-wop on the turntable while cooking some eggs. And inspired by this, I thought today I'd look at a rock and roll pioneer from Macon, Georgia, known as the architect of rock and roll, Little Richard, and his debut LP. Firmly rooted in the gospel tradition, showman Little Richard was encouraged by Sister Rosetta Tharpe, the first great recording star of gospel music. A 14-year-old Richard, nicknamed Lil Richard due to his small and skinny frame, opened her concerts and thus entered show business. He joined a travelling show where he developed his theatrical style stage makeup and flamboyant dress and would play the type of R&B his Baptist parents would describe as and consider devil music. Although blessed with a powerhouse voice and fine keyboard skills, he would gig and record music for years during the late 1940s and early 50s before eventually breaking through with Tutti Frutti in 1955, which hit number 2 on the Billboard R&B chart and made the top 30 of the singles charts in both America and Britain, eventually selling 1 million copies. His 1956 follow-up, Long Tall Sally, topped the R&B chart and peaked at number 13 on the top 100 and reached the top 10 in Britain, also selling over 1 million copies, as did his next single, Rip It Up, back with Jenny Jenny. His first LP, entitled Here's Little Richard, was released in March 1957 and is packed full of hit singles, including those 3 million sellers, plus his top 40 singles Slippin' and Slidin', together with the top 10 R&B charting songs Ready Teddy, She's Got It and Miss Anne. With so many singles, it was immediately familiar with listeners and resembled more of a greatest hits package. All of the tracks were recorded in New Orleans with the exception of True Fine Mama and She's Got It, both of which were made in Los Angeles. It was produced by Robert Bumps Blackwell, who co-wrote many of the songs with Little Richard and became his manager. This is the UK version, although the track listing and album cover is the same as the American record. The disc is housed in a polylined die-cut printed company paper sleeve, and the record label is the burgundy or deep red London Records design with text printed in silver type. The wording Made in England appears in capitals at the 12 o'clock position, and the all rights reserved rim text is also in capitals. Initial pressings have red text on the rear cover with illustrations filled in with block colour. The sleeves are also fully laminated. The flipbacks are die cut, half moon shaped, and it features the lozenge shaped London Records logo. No printer is credited. The label on the earliest pressing is textured and has a pressing rim close to the edge. The second pressing has a different typesetting on the label and the pressing ring is now further in from the edge. The rear cover is printed in black only, the flipbacks are now square, and mid to late 60s sleeves feature the later rectangular London Records logo. It is laminated to the front only. The later 60s pressings have sleeves which are non-flipback as well, both versions with black text on the rear credit the printer Robert Stace. The LP reached number 13 on the Billboard album charts and retrospectively has featured highly in many greatest album polls. As recently as 2025, Uncut magazine ranked Here's Little Richard at number 1 in their list of the 500 greatest albums of the 1950s. According to the 2026 Rare Record Price Guide, fine early copies in the red text sleeves have a value of £100, whereas later copies with flipback sleeves are priced at £50. The even later pressings in non-flipback sleeves are valued at around £35. And that just about brings to an end this brief history run-through look at the debut LP from the architect of rock and roll, Little Richard. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.